when you feel something's off, I know I've done it.
You have to explore it.
But I know how many times where we felt it, but we keep letting it
Fester.
without
That's
confronting
the
it.
worst. It's the
Because
worst.
sometimes when you feel something's off, but you don't know what it is, what I've learned, and I continue to work with my leader and team members, it's ongoing. When you feel that gut thing, when you've been doing this for a while too, respond sooner rather than later, because
100%.
that gut feeling, when you can tell something's off, that's coming from doing this for a while. And that intuition
sixth
is
sense.
from real
From experience.
memories built
Exactly.
in. Yeah. And so I've learned, even if you don't know, just to have to be like, man, something just seems a little off. Can we talk about it? I'm noticing.
Listen
and
to
it, and
this.
it will get to it, because when you let it
100%.
fester, they what happens? That makes gossip. That makes them.
100%.
Then they're tearing down. That's what pisses me off as owner. You're
They're
tearing
tearing
down.
down.
It's like you're biting the hand that's
Feeding you. Oh, I love that.
And
Just did a
it's
whole,
like, I remember meeting with my head director, and we had like a 3-hour meeting about, and I'm like, by the end of it, I'm like, we just wasted 3 hours on this person that is just
Yeah.
ripping our company down. They don't want to be coached. Look how much time we're just, because we're trying,
gotta let 'em go.
because we're trying to people please, because we care. We got to let them go.
Yeah.
They're like just taking money away from the company, from everyone, from us. Like, why am I allowing this to happen? And we
Yeah.
all do it.
oh, we all have
But
done
the
it.
quicker you can understand that it's
I think
serving your team by weeding out the people that aren't good for the company, that is serving leadership.
Yeah. Sometimes someone might be very skilled, but a poor fit for the company culture, and you have to let them go, because that's even worse than somebody who doesn't have a good skill but is a good team fit. Anybody can train the skill, but to get connected with other people inside of the company and be kind and these things, that goes way further, especially
Right.
for me.
That
But,
unity.
Oh yeah,
That's why
'cause it's so rare. But it's funny you bring that up about those kind of hunches. I say when that happens, you just have to go into the situation, because you might not have facts, you might not have evidence, you just have a feeling.
Yeah,
Which is not rooted in reality per se.
Yeah. it is.
Although intuitively you know it's real. You may
Yeah.
not be able to pinpoint it. This happens to me every day of
Because
the week, man.
especially when you've been doing it for years.
It's a hunch. You just know. You
something-
can know. You could be sleeping and you know.
It's something, because what I've learned is your brain sees something that it triggers
It's a
off
pattern.
a memory of, wait,
pattern.
we've seen this pattern before,
100%.
and it's telling you,
Yeah.
red flag, red flag.
100%. So listen to this. I had an employee, and they were really, really, really kick-ass. I mean, they came in and started doing things for my business that, to be fully honest, I was so oblivious to, like systematizing things, making things really good, like really building it up. And I was so impressed. And because they were kind of seducing me, my guard went down. I started to
Right.
trust them. Dude, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just started getting these hunches, man. I was like, something's off. I don't know what it is. I'm asking my team. I'm like, you guys, like, how's your experience with X person?
At
"Oh, it's
first,
great."
you don't want it to be true.
You don't want it to be true. Oh, no,
Like,
of course.
you
I
get-
didn't want
no,
it to
yeah,
be true. I
but
never wanted it to
you
be
get
true.
it because things are you're like, ah.
But there's this thing. So I
And it,
keep
like,
getting
starts
this
to give you
hunch.
a
I keep getting this
stomachache
hunch.
kind
I
of,
keep getting
yeah.
this hunch. Then I called a good buddy of mine who knew this person in real life outside of my organization. So I was like, let me just run just this opinion by them. I trust them. It's confidential. I run it by him. He's like, dude, that would be the biggest mistake you make, letting that person go. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm starting to second guess myself. Then one day I just came to this moment of like, I don't know what's going on, but every cell in my body is telling me this person has to go. So I eventually pretty much like found,
It's usually always right.
it's almost always right. And then I ended up firing them. 3 months later, I found out they stole money from me.
Right. Not surprised. There
There was something, man.
You were
I
right.
couldn't pinpoint it, but I was like, I can't not trust this. And I trusted it. And letting them go ended up being one of the best
Thank
things
God.
I ever did, because it opened room for other better leadership who were not getting my attention because that person was seducing me so much, to really rise to the occasion. And
Right.
yeah, it was.
They hold you down.
Yeah,
And
they blind you, man.
they do, and
They're seducers.
That gut intuition is not
is
talked
almost
about.
never wrong.
It's not almost never wrong. And I've also taught this to my team in hiring. I said that's one other thing is part of a whole hiring process. If everything's going great, but you still feel this weird thing in your gut, like everything seems great with them, but something, I have this weird, I've taught my director, when in doubt and you feel that gut feeling, don't hire them. Because I would rather you not hire them and be wrong than hire them and be right. And 9 times out of 10, when we've done that and hired them, it's been right. So I'm like, we have a 90% over and over again. So that's one other, it doesn't totally, you know, when you're hiring, you're just trying to gather as many facts as you can. And then
Of course.
but if it's enough of a strong feeling, and I remember like we've seen it, we have a 90-day probationary period, and we'll see something starting to come, and I'll have meetings with our director, and we need people. We have our individuals we serve. We have to have human beings there. We're hiring, and I'm like, I know we're short right now, but I'm having this feeling. I'm seeing this. I said,
I know.
Danielle, you know, I hope for the best, but you know, I'm feeling this in my gut. So let's start preparing. This probably isn't going to work out. And now, and at first, again, 11 years we've been working together. She would be like, Mark, but and now she's
My
learned to
directors
be
do
like,
the same thing. They're like, Anton, where's this
now
coming
it's gotten
from?
there,
And I'm
and
like,
she's
"You'll see."
like, she's like, yeah, you're right. We'll start feeling it. And then it always ends up. And I said, I promise. I said, I don't want to be right on this. I don't want to be right because we need them so bad.
Yeah.
And they're doing so good. And we're so busy.
I know,
And it
man.
sucks when they're good in
I
other
know,
areas.
It sucks.
But we're telling everyone listening is this is what it takes to truly be successful in the long term.
100%.